2020 was a year indeed, but this video is just going to be a summary of what we did, what our little family did. Very little at all about huge worldwide events and pandemics. So anyway, a quick summary of our year. In 2020, we lived in 3 different states, visited or drove through 21 states, and the biggest event would probably be celebrating our son's first birthday. In January, we were still living in Albuquerque, New Mexico. I only had a month left in my contract at Presbyterian Hospital, but we still hadn't done a ton of sightseeing in February due to pregnancy and then having a newborn. He was 3 months old at this point, so we were starting to venture out for little outings here and there. Petroglyphs National Monument, and taking the tramway up to Sandia Peak being 2 of the most notable. In February, we moved from Albuquerque to Rosedale, which is in Maryland, right outside of Baltimore. I was working at Franklin Square Medical Center, which luckily was right across the street from our apartment. I was able to walk to work every day. We didn't love this contract because A, it was 4 shifts per week, B, it was night shift, and C, my days were scheduled by the hospital without my input, so I wasn't able to get my shifts in a row. This basically meant that I never had a true day off, but that ended up not mattering so much because it was about this time that the pandemic hit. We spent most of our days at home, but did manage to get out for a day trip to Harper's Ferry, and to a park a bit south of us called Downs Park. In May, I switched to a different hospital, Southern Maryland, down in Clinton. We still had 3 months left on our lease, so initially I was commuting down there for my shifts, then staying in a hotel for 2 nights each week while I worked. In August, we moved, as you know, to Alexandria, Virginia. This has been our favorite place to live so far. We wish we could have experienced it fully and pandemic-less, but if we were going to live somewhere while all this was going on, a walking city like Alexandria is the perfect place. We're able to walk around Old Town and still get to explore while avoiding crowds and enclosed spaces with other people. We've done a couple of outings. We drove up to New Hampshire to do some scenic drives and outings for our son's first birthday. And we also did a day trip over to Shenandoah National Park. We went down to Mount Vernon. But mostly we've stayed local. We spend most of our days in our apartment, and when we do go out, we try to keep our stops nearby. So that was our summary of 2020. Not a lot to talk about because most of the year was spent social distancing and staying inside. We don't know what 2021 will bring, but we'll be in Alexandria until the middle of March, and from there, who knows? We're excited to see where we go, and we will keep you updated along the way. See you next week.